Okay, part one of my story, or maybe it'll be the whole thing. I don't know. Just depends on where it goes and how long it takes. Um, so, about a year ago, maybe, I don't remember when, because time is, who knows. I never know what day it is because I'm retired. Um, anyway, uh, Mariska Hargitay did a documentary about her mother, Jane Mansfield. And in that documentary, she said something about, she was describing her relationship with either her mother or her father or both. I don't remember exactly who, but she said she herself felt untethered. And I thought, oh my God, that's exactly the word. That's how I felt growing up. Um, it was my dad, my mom, and my sister, who was 4.5 years older than me, and me. And when I think back, I don't have any real attachment to any of them. My sister, later on, we became friends. It took us a while. She didn't like me. She did her best to make me feel stupid and dumb, and like anything I said was not worth saying. So I was already shy and empathic, and could figure out what was going on. Um, read body language really. I read body language really well. And anyway, she and I did become friends later, but she was not fun to be a little sister of. She didn't beat me up or anything. I think we had a couple of fist fights, but most of the time she just belittled me, made me feel small. So there was that aspect. And then she was like, everything she did touch turned to gold. She was just really good at everything. So I always felt less than. I looked up to her. So being that much younger, when she was telling me how stupid I was, I believed her because she was my older sister, so she must know I must be stupid. And that sounds dumb and stupid, but that's just how you look at it when you're a little kid who is impressionable and idolizes her big sister. So, at least for a while, till I got a little older. But so that was that part of my family. My mom, honest to God, I could probably count on one hand the number of memories I have of my mom, and I don't even know if it's that many. I mean, I know she was there, and I know she sewed our clothes. She we had all the food, and we weren't overly rich or anything. We had everything we needed, and not a lot of extra. But and my mom was pretty frugal, and I think she was just puttering around cleaning. I don't know. She wasn't like a super clean freak. Maybe a little. I don't know. I don't know where the hell she was. I honestly don't. Maybe it was me. I might have just been gone outside playing all the time because you could do that back when I was a kid. I could go across the street to the playground. I lived across the street from the elementary school that I went to, and it's right there, right across the street. So I could go play all the time. But I'd never let my kid do that now. Anyway, that's a different subject. Um, so I don't know what the hell mom was doing, but she wasn't hugging me very. I don't remember anybody in my life ever until maybe 20 years ago, hugging me and saying I love you. I don't remember getting hugs. I don't remember the only the only things that I remember really strongly from my youth or my childhood are um, things that had a real strong emotion attached to them. So I don't have any. And then my dad, I was kind of afraid of him. He wasn't like uh, um, a big booming guy or anything. I think he weighed 147 pounds his whole life. I mean, he was tall and slender. He was like maybe 6 foot. I don't even know if he was maybe 5'11", something like that, and slender. But he wasn't a wimp. He was a golfer, that kind of thing. And so it wasn't. But there was just I just didn't. His body language told me he didn't like me, or that was the impression I got. So um, that's kind of who I grew up with, and I was a loner. I just entertained myself because nobody was talking to me. I was shy. We had a piano at one point when I was like before I turned 7, somewhere in that that era. I I used to walk by it and think, oh, I wish I could play that. And nobody ever asked me. I guess maybe they thought I was too young. I never really thought about that till just now. But my sister took lessons and she didn't like it, so they got rid of it. But it's like they could have kept it. It wasn't hurting anything. Maybe it was. Maybe it was in the way. I don't know. These are my kid thoughts. These are the things I was thinking as a child. My impression was they don't care about me. I didn't feel cared for. Other than physically. I mean, nobody beat me or anything. I had emotional um, abuse, kind of. I guess you could call it abuse. It was just indifference. Nobody seemed to really give a shit that I was there. I felt invisible and untethered. So that's kind of part one. Okay, well, if you listened, I really, really appreciate you. And I'll come back with part two.